What's up, Mortgage Coach community? Dave Savage coming to you live from Portland, and I'm interviewing a fellow Oregonian, Bryce Elder. What's up, Bryce?
Feels great to breathe clean air. Say that.
Right, right. We live pretty close to each other. I think we're probably 15, 20 minutes apart, but God, that air was horrible last week, right?
It was terrible. It was the worst.
It was. Our claim to fame for not this week, but 2 weeks prior, we had the worst air in the world for, I think, at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. So
Right.
It is good to have blue skies back, my friend.
Yeah, it's either that or buckle down inside and pull up some new mortgage coach scenarios.
Yeah, right, right. Well, Bryce, we love how you're using our platform and how you're leveraging some of the integrations that make creating a mortgage coach faster and easier into today's low interest rate, high refi market. I think speed's important, and I don't think it is. It is important. People need more hours in the day. That's like the biggest pain point.
Sure.
Before we get into how you use a mortgage coach and how you're using total cost analysis, tell us a little bit about your mortgage practice.
Well, I've been doing mortgages for about a little over 14 years now. I'll be 15 years in October. And, I've always been kind of a cusp millennial, right? Like I'm a Gen Xer, solid Gen Xer. And so when I got into the industry, I started looking around at, how am I going to present this to people? I'm kind of a little bit of a performer myself, came from a musicianship, standpoint background, and been a DJ in the area for a long time. And one of the things that I know about my practice is that it floats my boat when I see the light bulb go on in other people's heads. Same thing that happens when you drop that track in the club or whatever. It was like, oh wow, that's what floats my boat. So I always am telling people, I think in another life I was either a teacher or a tour guide because I love this stuff. I get jealous of my buddy who's a tour guide. He just gets to roam around all the time and show people the cool stuff. And when anybody's ever coming to Portland, I just want to show them this and that and the other. Of course, now with COVID, that's a little bit more difficult, but I can still get that same rush, showing them the intricacies of the numbers that we're talking about using Mortgage Coach. And when I see the aha moment happen in them, that's what really solidifies the use of this technology in my business, because I'm also a communication major by trade. So Portland State University. So
Go
anyway.
Ducks. Oh no, not Ducks. I saw the Duck shirt on, but yeah, Portland State.
The Viking Duck, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there you go.
I spent a good 4 years studying intermediate music technology down at the University of Oregon, and that prepared me for a job in the mortgage industry. So in any case, technology has always been something that I've been trying to be up on and one up on my peers, and that's something that I've been finding is really aiding me in my ability to communicate well with clients about, what are we doing here? What is this all for? And what are the trade-offs? Like what are, you have a lot of choices in front of you, and we want to take into, we call ourselves mortgage advisors for a reason. It's because, we do a little bit more hand-holding than, the big banks might do. And, we take into consideration a lot more of the context of people's lives when we talk about what their options might look like. So having something that I can easily do a screen share, and I've been doing screen shares even before, COVID was, popular. I think it's a great way to communicate and to save time so that you're not having to wait for people physically coming to your office, and then your day isn't completely screwed if they don't show up. All of those kinds of, leveraged time savers that we're, looking at. So the magical combination really for me has been the combination of well-scripted, emails that are going out that are setting the expectation that, hey, we're going to check this thing out. And why don't you schedule some time with me using Calendly? I don't know if you guys have ever used Calendly before, but it's a great scheduling tool.
Yeah, no, it's a great platform.
Exactly. Reduces all the back and forth of, well, do you have this time or that time, et cetera. But the other thing is putting these together is not that hard. There's a lot of time-saving techniques that can come in here and get done. And I know at least in our company, it's tough enough, just to put if you're using Byte still, which I don't know who does, we've got a wonderful front end now, 2XP or Cloud Virga, that allows us to just put stuff together so easily. And all you got to do is just, export a Fannie Mae file, pop it into Mortgage Coach, throw in a couple of templates that you've already put together, and then, price it out, double check your pricing even, across with 2XP, but it's all coming from the same pricing engine, Optimal Blue. It's all dialed in there. It's just so easy to use, and it's a wonder to me why not everybody does.
Well, I love it. So I loved how you had your analogy that you were a DJ, probably once a DJ, always a DJ. And I love that you're always looking to like get wow people. And Mortgage Coach just helps you turn on that light bulb. So that was a cool analogy and kind of connecting to your personal story. I hadn't heard that one before, so I love that. You talked about you obviously love technology. That's probably one of the reasons why you've picked up using our Optimal Blue pricing button now.
Yeah,
so I am going to want you to show that. Before we
Sure.
do that, what kind of production are you doing in today's market? How's the market treating you?
Let's see. I'm just past about 85 units this year, and that's north of 25 now. It's been a while since I had a chance to stop and look. But
how many loans do you think you're going to close this month?
Oh, this month probably 10. Yeah,
cool.
Maybe more. We'll see.
Yeah. Congratulations. All right, so let's get. 10 loans a month is a real milestone in the mortgage industry, and it looks like you're going to close over 100 for the year. I mean, that is a big milestone that many loan officers never cross. So congratulations to you for that, man.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Mortgage Coach. Let's tell me. I'd like to do a story, a strategy, and I want to go beyond just looking at one of your TCAs. I want to see how are you using the Optimal Blue Get Pricing button.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's see. I don't know if you can see my screen here yet.
Not yet, but I'll tell you when I can.
I pull that over here. No. Okay.
I'll tell you when I see it.
Adjust this here. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Boom. There we go. Got it.
And boom is right. We see it.
All right. So here's a TCA that I put together for a client a little while back, and of course, the first thing I'll tell them when we come in here is, hey, there's my glamour shot. If you want to get rid of that, you need to go over here to the hamburger menu and hit the switches, and then pop up all this information to fit your screen. But putting something like this together, which is what I really think you want to see on the back end, is not as hard as it may seem. And the tools that we've been given, through corporate, if this is going out to just Finance of America people, it's all integrated. It's all done. There's really not much that you need to do to make it look pretty. You can do whatever you want to make it yours, but the tools that we've been given are pretty awesome. So here's kind of how I'll do it. I'll go to the back end.
Time out. Before you do that, go back. I like, for anyone new to Mortgage Coach, you'll notice at the top, it has his branding, his picture, his company brand. If you could scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice that it's got a beautiful integration with Social Survey. How do you like that? Do you like the fact that you have your most recent top review at the bottom?
Yeah, that's huge. And it's always fresh too. That's the thing. It's not something that's going to be stale. And of course, as we've been able to have more volume here, I know a lot of the people in our company have been getting a lot more reviews. And that's kind of, it used to be part of the challenge that we'd have to put together on our own is like, okay, like who are the people who have ever sent me an email that was, a glowing review? Oh, I got to put all those in one place somehow and then keep it updated. Well, I don't know if you're like me, but right now we don't all have a lot of time to do that. So this is, systematized use of that kind of an approach, and it stays up at the top. It stays fresh. ROI loves it, SEO loves it, and you're going to show up, which is great. And when people search you out, they're going to be able to see the story of how you've treated other people. And hey, as long as you're doing that in the right way, then I think you're going to look really great in here. And it's always something new, always something fresh.
Yeah. So guys, the ultimate consumer experience. And now let's talk about how fast and easy we can do it. And by using integrations with other technology platforms like Optimal Blue Pricing Engine and using Closing Corp, you can get the rates and you can get the price. Let's see how you're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go into the back end here, and I'm not going to go over every little thing in here. I think really what we're wanting to look at is how fast is it to price something. So here in this situation, I have multiple different scenarios. My client was looking at the trade-offs between, if they're going to be saving money on this, well, why don't we put them in a shorter amortization to keep their freedom points in line with what their goals are. So we all kind of know how that works. She was kind of playing with some in-betweensy stuff, and I ended up doing a 20-year fixed, and she did some overpayments to make it so that her payment ended up at $1,500 even. She wanted to know what that would look like, and I said, well, it puts you somewhere between a 15 and a 20, and it's great that we can see that. They love being able to know what the effect of that is. But in any case, to price it, that's the thing. Mortgage Coach doesn't change day by day. And that's one of the selling points you need to use with your clients is that, look, this is a tool that keeps us on the same page at the same time, literally and figuratively. And this is important because as time goes by, this app doesn't automatically update. Anytime you want to see anything different, you need to check in with me. Let's communicate. It facilitates communication. You tell them that. As much as this is the awesome, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread app-wise in the mortgage world, it doesn't update it, and you aren't going to be able to update it, client. You don't have access to this. This is through our relationship that you have this. And what that requires is for us to communicate. If you want to see something different in here, just check in with me. Let me know, hey, what would it look like for this loan amount, that loan amount, this purchase price, that purchase price. And then, hey, Bryce, what are rates today? Oh, well, hey, let's have a discussion about that. So before you go into that discussion, you've got it scheduled out through Calendly or whatever. You're going to pop in here, and would you look at that? We have a Get Pricing button here. And, if your scenario is set and it's just been a couple weeks since you checked in with them for whatever reason, then you just hit the Get Pricing button. It brings you into this subscreen here. And really what we want to be doing right now is all we need to know is a few things. What are their credit scores? Hers is perfect. That's great. I probably want to price this on a 30-day lock because we're not really even locking anything right now until we're through underwriting. So after that, yeah, probably we can close it in 30 days. So let's set our expectations correctly. And then is she getting any cash out or not? That's going to trigger the difference between your rate and term pricing or your cash out pricing. Other things you want to pay attention to, whether it's a primary, second home, or investment property, that's going to definitely have an effect on your pricing. Debt ratios too. And then the property type, of course. And as long as you've got those, plus the number of units all set, just hit next. I don't ever really worry too much about this MI option, but it looks apparently like we can price that as well. And then just hit the next button, and it's going to think for a minute. And now you've got anything that it thinks that you're eligible for, and you can see the pricing. And then you can just, subtract out this minus 100, and then you've got the pricing for what you'd put into the discount or the points section. So in this case, looks like I'm going to assume that she's going to pay about 0.6 points on a 30-year fixed at 3%. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and I'm going to go to the closing cost section, and it looks like that's costing her 0.6 right now. So hey, look, I just updated my pricing, and now Mortgage Coach is up to date. It took me like 3 seconds, and most of that's because I was explaining it.
Right. And then what about the closing court integration? How do you use that?
Right. That's awesome. I've been using templates a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the closing costs detail section. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clear it all out. So let's assume that you're just starting from scratch here. And the other assumption is that you've built at least one preset that gets pretty darn close to what your regular closing costs are that aren't attached with your title fees and third-party stuff. So I'm going to put in this one, and it's basically just going to bring in, all right, here's our admin fee, here's our processing fee. I can either keep or toss the appraisal based on my inspection waiver stuff, credit report, closing and escrow fee. These are all some of these are kind of eyeballed. Oh, I'm sorry, this is my purchase one. So I'm going to clear that out. I've got a separate one for refis. So refi is going to populate. It's going to show the admin fee, processing fee, appraisal fee, credit report. Then I'm really just going to put in hazard insurance and tax reserves. I'm going to let Closing Corp do the rest. So that's all I have in here. And now I'm like, okay, well, what does everything else look like? All I got to do is hit the buttons and let it know, is this a cash out? It's kind of the same stuff. Do you have more than one loan you're paying off? Is there going to be subordinate financing, any of that kind of stuff? Usually you really don't have to do much in here. And then you just hit next, let them know, yeah, no, there's nobody changing title on here. Beep, boop, beep. It's going to bring these numbers in. And
So
this is going to pull them in.
guys, pulling data from your pricing engine, pulling data from your fee engine, making things accurate, making things fast, and making things all through one platform. Anyways, keep going here. This is great.
So here's our fees. And you're able to communicate through corporate, and they can set your closing corp fees to pull from whichever provider. I think for us here at Finance of America, they're going to default to Boston National. Fees are going to be pretty darn close. The only thing I know is that our settlement fee is going to probably end up being about $295, because who I use is usually a lot closer to that. So I have one edit to make, and then apply to loan. Boom, I'm done. Make sure my points and prepaid days worth of interest are good. The only other thing I want to make sure of is that my taxes and insurance are in here. And yeah, I'm going to probably collect about 10 months right now. We're near, October closing. So I'm going to do 110% or 115% of whatever taxes look like. And once I switch screens, everything's updated. So, now if I were to go in and cancel out everything else but what I just did and save that, Mortgage Coach is going to populate with the scenario that I just priced. Oops. Let me get rid of this other one here. Pardon my dust. No, that should be happening. There we go. And so this is priced accurately to what's going on this very instant. And, I maybe had 10 minutes before my call with the client, and now I'm ready. I'm ready to screen share. I pull up Zoom, get on the phone with them, and away we go.
Love it, man. Great job, dude. And nice job on training yourself how to use these new integrations as they came out. If you're watching this and you're with a company that doesn't have our integrations turned on, you can still create a fast and easy mortgage coach. But if you're with a company that has Closing Corp, has Optimal Blue, or any of our other integrations, if you want to see what those are, go to our website, mortgagecoach.com, go to our partners page, and it will show all the integrations that we have. We just want to make it as easy as possible based off of your tech stack and based off of the company you work with. If it's a company that invests in building Mortgage Coach into their tech stack and into their culture, then it'll be easier than ever. But if it's not, it might take you a few more minutes to create a TCA, but you can still do it an amazing job. So my friend, you could go ahead and stop sharing your screen. Great job at teaching yourself how to use these new features. Loan officers that are watching this, the modern loan officer learns new things. And there are 4 pieces of technology that modern loan officers use. They use their CRM. And they don't just use it monthly or weekly, they use it daily and hourly. They use their point of sale software. So when you're taking an app, you're sending a link to the family, you're making it easier, faster, and better. When you give them advice, you give them a link, a Mortgage Coach TCA. It's easier and faster for you. It's better for them. And of course, you use video. Video is just ubiquitous in today's world, whether you're using Zoom, whether you're adding a video to a Mortgage Coach report. Those are the 4 technologies that the best loan officers in America use. Bryce, any closing thoughts as we wrap up this call for the Mortgage Coach community?
Man, you really nailed it on the head. And, like I said, like you said, be an early adopter, get into this. I mean, everybody, it's such a great tool. And, we really love to rely on, third-party opinion leaders. So the integration to Social Survey does exactly that. As you're screen sharing with your clients, you can make fun of yourself like I do. It's just a great way to communicate audio, visually, setting expectations wise, being on the same page, literally and figuratively, is more important now than it ever has been. And you're going to set yourself apart with the people out there who can't spend this amount of time on this kind of, tool or aren't willing to for whatever reason, which I don't know why that would be. But yeah, it's probably the number one biggest, most important part of the business that I've been able to build over the past 14 years. And I absolutely love it. So thank you, Dave, for allowing me to say my piece here. I've been waiting to say this for a long time. Been waiting to meet you for a while. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope you guys will get onto this because it's killer.
Well, Bryce, I appreciate you, dude. And hopefully, as the COVID cloud lifts, we can get together, have some coffee here in Portland together. There's some cool spots down there in Oregon City, or you could come up here, or we can meet somewhere, at Kova Coffee. So dude, you kill it. Thank you for being a leader in the industry. Congrats on your success. I hope you guys got value from this. If you did, give us a like down below. Share this with your mortgage friends. If you're a manager on this call and you have a mortgage coach integration, make sure your loan officers know how to use it. We just highlighted 2 critical integrations because we have over 30 different integrations. So if you have them activated, you will go faster, your job will be easier, and you will be creating more value for your customers. So this call is a wrap. Take care, Bryce.
See ya.